Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing my 176th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of Superman Man of Steel Edition. Now, as we can see, this figure comes in a very large tin featuring some really cool artwork of Superman. And on the back, we can see some even more great artwork. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this new Mezco Superman figure. Now boy, is this guy a topic of controversy lately, right? But let's run through it and I'll give you my honest opinions, how I really feel about this figure here. So the sculpt and the colors here, the chosen colors for the suit look fantastic in my opinion. Those bright blues, bright reds, the yellows all look fantastic to me. I love the soft goods cape here. It does feel really nice with the bendy wire in it. That's really cool. We got the nice vibrant yellow S on the back there. I love the red boots, the red trunks, the yellow belt here. I especially love the actual fabric trunks here because for you guys earlier collectors, when this Superman came out, this is the first Superman that Mezco released, we were actually shown images of the prototype to actually have this one have the fabric trunks here, but when it came out, there were these weird vinyl trunks that didn't really, I don't know, didn't work all that great in my opinion. At the time, I probably felt differently, but just over time, like the vinyl trunks was the very wrong way to go. But I did like the fact that we get a sculpted S on the chest, but then he has this very metallic blue suit, metallic blue red cape, which looks okay, but this one just looks a lot more classic, you know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. The size of the S does not bother me whatsoever. I know that's a big topic. I think people are overdoing that, honestly. But what does bother me, I do not like the black outlines of the S. It kind of makes it look like it was drawn on his suit instead of like stitched on or whatever you want to call it. So I'm not sure why they did that. That I wish they would have changed. The larger S, or it being smaller than what they originally shown, doesn't really bother me a single bit. I also noticed we get this blue stitching on the top of the cape here that's supposed to hold it to the suit. I don't like that either because the blue really sticks out in my opinion. You'll see that right there, a little too much against the red cape, so I wish that was a little different. But other than that, man, I think this guy looks great. I love the head sculpts that we're getting here. In my opinion, they do look a little older than what I would have preferred. Probably a little like 10 years older than what I would have preferred, but that's more of a personal preference. I still think they look great. You know, the chin, the hair with the curl looks awesome. Those brows, the blue eyes, all look fantastic in my opinion. So now moving on to the accessories, we of course do get all kinds of interchangeable hands, whether it be closed fisted hands, open palm hands, different types of curled fingered hands, you know, flight posing hands and things like that. We even get gripping hands, which all I think is really, really cool. We do get just a ton of interchangeable heads, from smiling to angry to really angry to slightly smiling to fairly stoic and, you know, kind of scared and surprised and things like that. All of those look really cool. I do love the sculpt, all of those. In my opinion, they all came out great. Something that they're doing a little different with this particular figure though, each individual head sculpt has its own ball peg already attached into the head. So each head you get has its own ball peg, and that works good. But from what I'm noticing, like, look at how crazy that head looks. These pop off fairly easily. So I noticed when I've been posing them around, and yes, it's all the way on there. It's not going to go on more. I don't have it loosely on there, but they just pop off a lot looser or a lot easier, excuse me, than I would prefer. So it's a little annoying when I'm posing them around, like trying to get a look up pose and it just pops off. You know what I mean? So I don't like that at all. I'm not sure why they changed that, because their neck ball peg system was just like so perfect in my opinion. So the fact that they're doing this, yeah, I'm not liking that at all, to be honest. I wish they would go back just to the older way they did things. So we do get this head right here that where the eyes look almost black. You're going to be able to pop out this little whole section right here by the ball peg and put in these two little button style batteries that the figure does come with, and you'll see a little switch in there. It also does come with this tool that has like a tiny little hook on it, and you're going to use that hook to just flip the switch on like that, and there he has his red glowing eyes, which I think is really cool. That is a really cool and gnarly effect, and oh man, he just looks mean and badass. That is a great looking look. Like, damn, I wish I could just have those eyes on at all times when he's on the shelf. I might have to buy just an endless supply of those batteries because that looks super cool in my opinion. And then we get this head as well with a little slit right through the face, which looks gnarly. That is for plugging in these different effect pieces that we do come with, or that he does come with, excuse me. So those look really cool too. You can see the little red eye beams with the little burst effect coming through at the end right there. That looks really awesome, really cool. Get some really nice poses and pictures out of that. And you can take that off and see this head's already like popping off like too dang easy, man. I don't like that. But you also do get this larger burst effect, which looks super dope. That looks killer, man. Look how awesome that looks. I really want to pose him on the shelf, just on the flight stand with those like that. I think that is such a great look. And of course, you do get that flight stand. You get the standard Mezco base with just a simple Superman logo like that, and then the clear articulated arm. We also do get these like punch effects for his hands, which I think is really great. And these will just, pop right over the actual fist, and you get some really cool punching effects like that. You do get 2 of those that work out pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be using those for him, but I mean, they're there. I kind of wish they would have gave him like ice breath effect, you know what I mean? Where you could slide in an ice breath in through his mouth or something like how they did with those eye effects. I think that would have been really cool, but hey, it is what it is. Those heads keep popping off, man. I don't like that. We also do get this is probably my favorite accessory. We do get this cluster of kryptonite pieces, which I think is super dope. I love how they have this. You know, if you really want to build a whole dio for Superman here, you know, we've had the shrunken city of Kandor, the bottled city of Kandor before with the previous Superman, and now we got this with all different kryptonites. And I think this is really cool because these can pop off. You can remove the different pieces of kryptonite. I think that's really awesome. So if you can make some just really cool displays with all this stuff, and these things hold on there very, very tightly, but all unique sculpts. I think that's super dope, man. If you want to rig this with some mini LEDs, you know, drill a hole through there or something like that and have them light up, I think that would be really cool as well. But this is just a really fun accessory. We also do get these like punch effects for his hands, which I think is really great. And these will just, pop right over the actual fist, and you get some really cool punching effects like that. You do get 2 of those that work out pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be using those for him, but I mean, they're there. I kind of wish they would have gave him like ice breath effect, you know what I mean? Where you could slide in an ice breath in through his mouth or something like how they did with those eye effects. I think that would have been really cool, but hey, it is what it is. Those heads keep popping off, man. I don't like that. We also do get this is probably my favorite accessory. We do get this cluster of kryptonite pieces, which I think is super dope. I love how they have this. You know, if you really want to build a whole dio for Superman here, you know, we've had the shrunken city of Kandor, the bottled city of Kandor before with the previous Superman, and now we got this with all different kryptonites. And I think this is really cool because these can pop off. You can remove the different pieces of kryptonite. I think that's really awesome. So if you can make some just really cool displays with all this stuff, and these things hold on there very, very tightly, but all unique sculpts. I think that's super dope, man. If you want to rig this with some mini LEDs, you know, drill a hole through there or something like that and have them light up, I think that would be really cool as well. But this is just a really fun accessory. We also get this thing. I feel, and feel free to remind me in the comments, isn't this the thing for trapping people in like the Phantom Zone or whatever that is? Or is this the Shrinking Ray? I really don't remember. Again, let me know in the comments, but I'm almost positive it's the Phantom Zone thing. Is that what it's called? I haven't read the books in a while, but anyways, it looks really cool. Nice sculpt on it. Does have a handle so you can hold the nice clear red lens on there. Looking fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this head off like that. I'm not put on his little freaked out face like that, because I think that's just such a cool looking sculpt like that. And then he also does come with a Starro like that, so you can pop that over his face and it can look like he's taking him over. What a fantastic looking thing. We've seen that before with DC Universe Classics. I love when they gave us those. I used to have a bunch of those. I think I gave them to a friend of mine. I don't quite remember, but that looks really awesome. The sculpt that is fantastic. You get a nice wash on there. I do love that a lot. This guy also comes with a freaking mercy plant, dude. I think this is so dope. The sculpt of that is fantastic. All the different colors in there. I love how they have like the brighter, glossier red finish for those little teeth or whatever sticking out. Sections of this are on bendy wire, so you can pose this around, which I think is really cool. And if you look on the inside, you'll see how it is kind of like shaped where his pectorals and then the abs would kind of go over Superman like this. This curled piece is going to kind of go around the neck. So you're just going to wrap it around like that. Take those bendy wire tendrils and kind of like wrap them around Superman. And you can have it like this thing's totally gripping onto him. What a gnarly accessory to add for Superman. I think that's perfect. And it's stuff like that where Mezco truly shines. So now going over the articulation here. So there is a ball peg from the head that goes into the neck and another ball peg that goes in from the neck into his upper chest like that. So he can look up pretty far like that without trying to pop that head off. But you see how just it comes off so easily, man. Hopefully that's just mine. Let me know in the comments if your Superman's having the same issues with those heads popping off so easily. But it could look up about that far. I wish it were more, because, you know, I want Superman in a very nice flying poses, excuse me. So I wish that was a little bit better. Looks down about that much. I can pivot side to side, and look, it's just popping off too dang easy. Pivot side to side, rotates left and right. Arms can go all the way up and down, up and out that far. That's really nice. It does feel like there's a bit of a butterfly joint in there, so that works out pretty good too. We got rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbows that bend very, very nicely. Rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. I will note that the hands feel a little more gummier than I'm used to. So it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it feels a little like a different type of material than what I'm normally used to with a Mezco figure. We do get a double ball peg in the midsection that goes into his chest, and then one into his lower crotch area. So that can roll around very, very nicely. Does turn left and right. Bends back all the way that far. That's really good. Crunches forward all the way that much, and pivots side to side. Hips can kick forward, up, out that far. Back about that much. Splits all the way out that much. That's actually really good. Rotation in that upper thigh. Double jointed knees that work very nicely. Nothing at the boot, but the ankles are on ball pegs, so those rotate up and down a decent amount, and a pretty good ankle rocker for a Mezco figure, so that's pretty cool too. So overall, you know, this figure does have its problems. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's perfect or it's the best Superman figure ever. For me, that still goes to the Mafex one. I love the Mafex Superman figures. They're so good over there. But this is still a fantastic piece. Again, it has its issues. I don't know. It really depends on your favorite type of S. This doesn't bother me with the exception of the black lines. The size I think is pretty good. I hate the blue threads. I wish his face looked a little bit younger. He's a little too old in my opinion in this particular sculpt, but I still think they all look great. It really is a nice, fantastic Superman. You know, of course, you got the bendy wire and the cape. The materials feel really nice. The buck and the sculpt and the articulation all work very well. So again, if you have your issues, you are totally valid in what you feel. If you don't like certain things, then don't buy it. It's not for you. They're probably just going to make you more angry if you spend the money. But hey, if you don't mind those issues, I think you're going to have a great time with this figure. He can be a lot of fun. You can get some great poses with him. The effect pieces, all kinds of different accessories that he comes with. I think those are a lot of fun. And for me personally, he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to a couple other Mezco 112 Collective Supermans. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to a Medicom Mafex on the left and NECA Superman on the right. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to a couple of Mezco 112 Collective Batman figures. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to a figure that I think he looks really good with, which is the Mezco 112 Collective Shazam. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Superman Man of Steel Edition. Now let's be fair, this figure is by no means perfect, and it is by no means the end-all be-all Superman figure that I think a lot of us were hoping for. Yes, it has its issues. Like, I do have an issue with the black lines around the S. Some of you have an issue with it being too small. Totally valid. But I think the suit itself looks really good. The soft goods are so fantastic. The bendy wire cape works perfectly. The colors are bright and vibrant. I do love the head sculpts, even though I wish they were a little bit younger, on the younger end. That's just my personal opinion. But all the effect pieces, like the eyes effects, the punching effects, all the different accessories and creature aliens that we do get are awesome. I love stuff like that, man. And again, the detail in the accessories is where, in my opinion, Mezco really truly shines, and they killed it with that. The articulation is fantastic. You can get them into pretty much any pose you like. Throw in an LED feature that works out great. I do have issues with those ball pegs just easily popping off the neck peg, which is a problem for me, but still, he's fun, not perfect. You can either pass if those issues bother you too much, or if you don't mind those things, hey, you're gonna love this piece, and I think he will look great in your Mezco collection. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.